So you'll be angry if you don't cut it off. So many times we're working on the flatheads and I see other customers doing this and doing whatever they're doing. Yep. And we got two engines here that we're going to crisscross a little bit. That's just for the viewers' information. Yeah. So now on our early Ford motors, yep, to take the flywheel off or the pan or anything else, or change the clutch, in any of the Fords, you have to take the pan off. That's from the maybe 35 up to 48. So I have a 49 motor here, but we're going to put this pan on here. So the 48 motor, to get the flywheel out, take the pan off. Or anything else has to do with it. This is what we've been doing over the years. And Ford did make a pan like this from the factory. I don't know what it came on, and I've seen a couple of them. So we take the plasma cutter and cut this pan apart here. Okay. This one on here, like that. Yeah, it came right off there. So now, from now on, it has two bowl holes here, and we can put this back on there as a dust cover. So anytime you got one of these tore apart, it's a good idea to just cut the pan off. That's enough stability for the starter and everything. And it don't need this for any kind of structural things. We don't go down dirt roads anymore, bumpy roads and over the railroad tracks and stuff. So we don't need that much structure in the oil pan. Stability. Yeah. So once we cut this off now, then you could put the pan back on. You can visually see if your rear seal is in place. With the other one, the old original, had a flywheel and a clutch, and you put the pan over it, and you just guessed if it was in the right place. So now you can actually see that cork gasket with there and the rear seal. Mm-hmm. So now at the same time, this is an example. This happens to be a automatic transmission flywheel for putting a Ford AOD transmission on a flathead. Yes, this is all new conversions. Some of these are available through Speedway, and some other different people make this, but this happens to be on the flywheel. Now this will go right in there, you know, and put your flywheel in your torque converter and all that in there, and tighten the torque converter bolts behind it. I just showed that as an example because the Ford C4 conversion flywheel is about 2 inches shorter than this. Really? Yes, and it will go right in there. And all the original Ford flywheels will go in and out of that pan without taking the pan off from now on. Then even when you do your conversion kits on flywheel, most people are wanting to do that now, C4 behind a flathead. You want to make sure that the torque converter bolts are sticking through here. Sometimes you have to shorten them, grind them shorter, so that bolt don't hit the end of the oil pump in a flathead. I've had to take in a couple of them, and I had to grind this block right here in a couple of places here so the torque converter bolts would miss. Oh, I see. Yeah, on the conversions, yeah. It's kind of a lip on the block here, isn't it? Yeah, it is, and we ground those away so the torque converter bolts stick through the flywheel on automatic again. And you use a 3/8 narrow, thin, self-locking nut on the torque converters. Okay. And covers that on so it don't miss. And when you get done with your conversion, you know, all tight and everything else, you want to turn the motor over by hand to make sure that those torque converter bolts sticking out misses the oil pump and rear cam plug. Check your clearance on all that stuff before you start it up. And I've done several of those over the years, yeah. So a little bit of thing on the oil pan. So many people ask about that, and it's fairly simple to take the pan to somebody with a plasma cutter and cut that out and grind it smooth. And yeah, right there, you have a little example on what you expect. And other than that, you can put the C4 together and put the flywheel in there, put the pan back on again, and there's hardly any way to get the torque converter bolts back on. So you can stick your fingers through the starter hole here and reach those torque converter bolts and tighten them through here. It's quite a distance back in here if this was all on here. Yeah, right. So you'll be angry if you don't cut it off.